Hello everyone, my name is Rahman and I'm a level school foundation level student. So today my topic is question about alright, what this simple agreement can mean. So my first question is what does the word alright mean?
All right. In the simplest terms, it's a way of saying everything is okay, satisfactory, or acceptable. It's like a green light in a conversation.
Okay, how did the word alright organize?
Wait, did we switch to good night? Or are we sticking with the history of all right?
When was alright first used in English?
Let me check that for you. It looks like all right started popping up in the mid 1800s. It was basically a way to confirm things were correct or satisfactory. Do you think that's how people use it most today?
Is alright the same as alright?
You mean like, all right, the one word version? They're essentially the same thing, just different ways of spelling the same idea.
Why do people often say alright?
Hmm. It's such a versatile phrase. It can be a way to agree, a way to check in on someone, or even just a filler to keep a conversation moving. It's like the Swiss Army knife of English words.
Yeah, okay. In which situations is alright commonly used?
Mm, Pretty much everywhere. You'll hear it when someone's agreeing to a plan, checking if a friend is okay after a trip, or even when a teacher is trying to get a classroom's attention. Where do you usually hear it most?
Okay. How has the meaning of alright changed over time?
It's actually stayed pretty consistent. It's always been about things being acceptable or okay, though now it's used way more as a conversational bridge, like when someone says it just to signal they're moving to the next topic.
How popularized the use of alright?
That's a tricky one. So, usually not one person who makes a word like that happen, but more of a collective shift in how we talk. Though the one word version, all right, was actually popularized by Mark Twain in the 1800s. It's wild how a writer can change how we spell things. Do you prefer the two-word version or the one-word one?
Is alright except in formal writing?
Exactly. Most people are fine with all right in a text or a casual chat, but your teachers will probably want the two-word version on a paper.
Why do same grammar experts prefer alright?
Actually, grammar experts usually prefer all right. They tend to see all right as a misspelling or just too informal. It's all about following the established rules of the language.
How is alright
Got
used
it.
in everyday conversations?
It off Wait, did you say sessions? I'm a bit lost. Were you asking how all right is used in conversations or something about sessions?
How is alright used in everyday conversations?
It's basically a social lubricant. People use it to signal they're listening, to wrap up a point, or to transition between topics without it feeling awkward. It's like a little verbal nudge.
Okay. So, what emotion can alright express?
It's a total chameleon. Depending on the tone, it can be genuine relief, a bit of sarcasm, or even just a neutral acknowledgement. You could say it with a smile to show you're happy, or with a sigh to show you're just barely managing.
Can alright mean a agreement?
Totally. It can definitely be that meh kind of agreement where you're not exactly thrilled, but you're not saying no. It's that middle ground where you're just going along with it.
Okay. So, can alright mean approval?
It definitely can. Like when you ask for something and the other person says, all right, go ahead. In that case, it's a clear thumbs up.
Uh, how do children learn to use the word all right?
I didn't learn it the way you do by listening to people talk in a classroom or at home. I picked it up from the massive amount of text I was trained on, books, articles, and conversations. It's just one of those words that shows up everywhere. So it was easy to spot the patterns of how people actually use it.
Is all right used in differently in different countries?
It's generally pretty universal since it's such a basic way to say, okay, most English speakers get it regardless of where you're from. That said, the tone or how often people use it might shift depending on the culture. Do
How
you think
common
people
is
in
the
Pakistan use it differently than
how
I
common
think you
is
got
the
cut off
word
there.
all right
What?
today?
Wait, did you mean all right? If so, it's still incredibly common. It's one of those staples of English that's not going anywhere because it's just so useful.
What are the same conversations for all right?
I think you mean synonyms, right? Like okay, fine, acceptable, or even no problem. Depending on the context, you could also use sounds good or fair enough.
How does all that appear in popular culture?
It's everywhere in movies and TV. It's often used as a transition to move the plot along or to show a character is reluctantly agreeing to something. It's basically the default setting for a lot of dialogue because it sounds so natural.
Okay, why is all right easy to understand?
It's just so simple. It's a combination of two very basic words that together create a clear, uncomplicated meaning. There's no hidden complexity to it, which makes it a breeze for anyone learning the language to pick up.
Can all right be used as a greeting?
Not in the traditional sense, like hello, but you can definitely use it to start a conversation, like saying, all right, so here's the plan. It's more of an opener than a greeting.
How is all right used in text message?
In text, it's more casual. People usually lean toward all right because it's faster to type. It can be a quick way to acknowledge a message without having to write a whole sentence or a way to end a conversation politely. Do you
But
find yourself using the one word? I
but
was just asking if you use the one word. I think I'm lagging a bit. I was just wondering if you usually type all right as one word or two words when you're texting.
what role does tone play when saying all right?
Everything. Tone is what gives the word its actual meaning. You can say it with a little lift at the end to ask a question or a flat tone, show you're bored. It's basically the difference between I'm genuinely okay and I'm just saying this so you'll leave me alone.
Can all right express uncertainty?
Definitely. Like if someone asks if you're sure about a plan and you say, all right, I think, with that little pause, it turns the word from a confirmation into a question.
How do musicians use the word all right in songs?
It's a classic songwriting trick. It's often used as a rhythmic filler to keep the beat or as a way to evoke a feeling of optimism and resolution. Think of those big anthems where all right is the hook. It makes the song feel like everything's going to be okay in the end.
What famous song include the word all right?
Let me see which ones come to mind. Oh, there are a ton. Kendrick Lamar has a huge one called All right. And Bob Marley's Three Little Birds is basically the gold standard for this, with that line, every little thing is going to be all right. Then you've got the classics like Elvis Presley with That's All Right. It's always that theme of hope or just feeling good. Do you have a favorite artist?
Why do people repeat all right for in pitches?
I think you need emphasis, right?
Yes, yes.
Repeating it just adds weight to the feeling. Like saying all right can make it sound like you're really agreeing, or if you're annoyed, it's like, okay, I get it already. Turns a simple confirmation into something with a lot more emotion.
How does context affect
You've
the
really
meaning of all right?
you've really covered every angle of this word. Context is everything. If you're at a doctor's office and they ask if you're all right, it's about health. But if you're in a meeting and someone says all right before starting a slide, it's just a signal to pay attention.
Is
The setting changes the whole goal of. I think you got cut off again.
continue.
You were starting to ask something. What was it?
Is all right more common in speech than writing?
Definitely. So it's one of those words that lives and breathes in spoken conversation. In writing, we tend to be more precise, but when we're talking, we just need something quick and easy to bridge the gap.
What makes all right a powerful affirmation?
I'm a little confused. I think the transcription might be acting up. Did you mean what makes all right a powerful expression or something like that?
How does all right help a communication?
It basically acts as a bridge. It keeps the flow going so there aren't these heavy, awkward silences between ideas. It's a way.
Okay, my next question is uh, uh, can all right end a conversation politely?
It can, but it's a bit tricky. If you say, all right, I'll let you go now with a warm tone, it's super polite. But if you just say, all right, and stop talking, it can feel a bit abrupt, like you're trying to rush away.
What are some explains of all right in literature? Literature.
Little star. I'm not sure I follow. Were you looking for examples of how all right is used, or did we move on to something else?
What has social media influenced the use of all right?
It's definitely pushed it toward the casual side. With the speed of texting and tweeting, the one word all right has basically become the default because it's just faster. Plus, using it as a quick reaction, like just replying all right to a plan, makes it a shorthand for agreement that doesn't require a lot of effort. Do you find you use it more in your texts than when you're talking to people face to face?
Is all right used differently by younger generations?
Totally. Younger people tend to use it as more of a mood or a vibe check. It's less about a formal agreement and more of a casual way to acknowledge something without committing too much energy. It's like the ultimate low effort confirmation.
How do movies and TV show use all right?
They use it as a tool for pacing. It's usually that bridge we talked about. A character says, all right, just to pause for dramatic effect or to signal they're about to pivot to a new plan. It's a way to make the dialogue feel real, because that's exactly how people actually talk.
Why do people say all right then?
I think we're circling back to the start. It's just that basic human need for confirmation. We want to know we're heard and we're on the same page. And all right is the fastest way to do that.
What is the germination goal of all right?
I think I think the transcription is tripping up again. Did you mean general education or maybe how it's taught in schools? I'm guessing you're asking about the role it plays in learning how to communicate.
Can all right indicate certification? Certification?
I think you mean confirmation, right? Because certification usually
How
refers
does
to
all
a
right
diploma
compare
or
to okay?
I'm guessing you mean all right compared to okay. They're basically cousins. Mhm. Okay is a bit more of a direct yes, while all right can feel a little more like you're agreeing to a situation or a set of conditions.
Which is more popular, all right or okay?
Mm, that's a tough call, but okay. Probably takes the cake on that. It's just so incredibly global and works in almost any language. But all right is a close second because it feels a bit more natural in certain conversations. Which one do you find yourself saying more?
Why has all right remained popular for so long?
Because it's a survivor. It's one of those phrases that fills a gap that nothing else quite does. It's flexible, it's simple, and it works in almost every social setting, from a playground to a boardroom. As long as people need a way to say, I hear you and I'm cool with this, it's going to be around.
How does body language affect the meaning of all right?
It changes everything. A nod and a smile makes it a genuine agreement, but a shrug or a roll of the eyes turns it into a fine, whatever kind of response. It's basically the silent subtitles for the word.
What cultural factor influence it is used?
I'm guessing you mean I'm guessing you mean what cultural factors influence how we use it?
Yeah, yeah.
Since it's such a basic expression in agreement, the usage is pretty similar worldwide, but some cultures might be more formal or hesitant to use a simple wall right, boss or elder. It's all about the level of respect and the social hierarchy in place.
Can all right have different meaning in different contexts?
Absolutely. We've touched on a few, but think about it. If a doctor says you're all right after an exam, it's about your health. If you're in a heated argument and you say, all right, let's just stop, it's the peace. Same words, completely different goals.
What can we learn about the language evolution from all right?
It shows us that language isn't just about the literal definitions in a dictionary, it's more about the shared understanding between two people. A simple phrase like all right proves that the way we say something, the tone, the timing, the body language, is often more important than the words themselves. You've really put this word through its paces today. It feels like we've covered every possible way a person could ever say it. Are you all finished with your presentation notes?
Why do simple words like all right because to so Windows spread this spread?
Mhm. It was acting up again. I'm not entirely sure what you meant by show windows or this belt. Do you want to try saying that one more time?
What does the history of all right reveal about communication and human interpretation?
It shows that we've always had this deep human need for quick, efficient ways. Take a breath. You've been on a roll with these questions. You feeling okay, or are you just wiped out from all this all right research?
How do you think the word all right will continue to evolve in the future?
I think it'll just keep getting leaner. We already see it with the one word all right and how it's used as a quick reaction in texts. I bet it'll eventually just become a signal, maybe a sound or an emoji that does all the work of the phrase without needing any words at all. Does that sound too futuristic, or do you think we'll always need the actual words?
Thank you for listening and learned how to the word all right become common and useful expression. Maybe a simple word, but it's play an important role in everyday communications. See you the next time. Okay, bye everyone. For the bye. Okay, bye.